So live on all the platforms. Let's see if we can say hello to everyone. Cool. All right. Let's see if... Yeah, it's working on YouTube now. Yay, cool. All right, let's go to me for a sec. Hi everyone, we're just testing a few things out today. We are testing out Instagram, which should be live. Just double check that. I'm just going to click go live. We are live on Instagram. Cool. And we are live. Let's just double check if we're live on Facebook. Double checking Facebook. Sorry guys, I need to do this otherwise. Don't want to allow notifications. We are going to go to my channel, which we've done. Yep, beautiful. We're live on Facebook as well. Fantastic. All right. Okay, so Twitch is twitch.tv/synthgeekery, one word, SYNTH geekery, GEEKERY. That's the Twitch channel. Instagram is ranzee, and Facebook is ranzee official, and YouTube is ranzee. Cool. We've got all that squared away. Let me just go back to here. What we're going to do just quickly is just testing a few things. Audio, let us know if you can hear me audio wise. No one knows about this stream, so it's not going to have a heap of people like my regular streams do. So, but we're testing the things out. So let's go over to here. We're going to patch the 960 into the System 100M, which is the grey module just above the 960, which is that sequencer there. We've got the sequencer going through. Let's go to the upside down image. You can see it better. There's a quantizer. Let me grab my little pointer. The Disting Mark 4, Disting 4, there's a quantizer on that. So we've got that going through the quantizer, and Pamela's new workout is providing the clop to the sequencer. We've got a bit of modulation happening on the System 100 modules through an LFO. The LFO's over here, and that's going in through this cable into the filter, which is over there. We're also mucking around with the C-legs from IntelliGel, so that'll provide a bit of delay effects. All right, let's get this cracking. Go back to Ableton to fire it all off. Got a bit of kick and hi-hats and stuff going from the MPC. There's that modulation kicking in. was that. That was that. What else can we do today? Let's get some other stuff turned on and plugged in. What's this going through? What did I plug this into? Alright, we need some sound out of this baby. We're not getting sound out of the oh, we need to put the camera on it. Let's do that first. Okay, sound. Put some sound on this thing. Okay, we're going to need to tune these oscillators, I feel. So to do that, let's turn all this noise off and let's get the sequencer going. Sorry. It's on E. get that to get tuned better. Let's try a VST instrument into this because we can get it to sound some string sort of sounds maybe. Actually, I don't even need a VST. Let's do we got this one. Going into 4. Why is that not playing? 4. What the hell? Okay, let's get an F. Let's start the sequence. Okay, I'm trying to get the trying to introduce another instrument in the peak, which is behind me there. It's connected, it's firing off MIDI. You can see it receiving MIDI. You can see it flashing just there as I'm pressing. Just can't hear it. Interesting, gonna have to find out why. Don't know if that's done it. Sounds good. Right, we have got sounds again. Here we go. Do something with this clock. Maybe we should transpose this. Go. Now we're going to have to tune the sequencer to C. Cool, that's interesting stuff. Could do this for days. Right, how are we going with streams? We have YouTube. YouTube's working. I can see it working on that screen. We have Instagram Live is working. Yay. Just said thanks guys to the Instagram. What else we got? We should have Twitch going. That's not my Twitch. How many people we got on Twitch? Twitch. I should do a little graphic for Twitch. Let's just add an input here, just to show people where Twitch is. I know a lot of people, they play video games and stuff on Twitch, but yeah. So let's see, what graphic can I use? Twitch. That one will work. The headline will be twitch.tv/synthgeekery, and then we're going to put Twitch link, and then the graphic. I should have a Twitch logo somewhere here. If I don't, we are in trouble. I thought I did. Download one. Maybe it's in my downloads folder. T for Twitch. T for Twitch. T for Twitch. Can't see it. That works. Save that. Twitch logo. Let's save that in the right place this time. Live stream. Hey, Twitch logo. Cool. Alright. Does that work? Oh, jeez, it's too big. Guys, what are you doing to me? Save the fonts. The fonts. How do I fix the fonts here? Font. Here we go. Oh, it's 84. What the hell? Let's go down to 72. There we go. Whoa, why is it? It's half cut off too. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't want to edit it either. But it's the right size, isn't it? Maybe if we go one more down, like maybe, I don't know, 68 or something. See what that does. Yeah, it's a bit better. Anyway, that's the Twitch link. Zoomp. Right. So what are we doing here? We've got the SEO2 connected up to Ableton via MIDI, so I can fire off the actual sounds in this. Sounds like there's nothing coming from it, but there is. It's a good little patch. Let's change the patch. And we've got the magneto happening on. Let's get the magneto so you guys can see it. Magneto's just there. Zoom, baby, zoom. So the magneto, and if we add it in, we can turn the repeats right down. We can turn it right up. funky, doesn't it? movement there. we can change the program on the peak to something a bit more interesting. Okay, let's get this happening now. Alright, now let's see if we can grunge this up a bit. Alright, now we need to get some of our Whew, that was fun. Who's enjoying that? Hey. What's happening? We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Trovo, and YouTube. So wherever you are, hello. Hope you enjoyed the Monday Jamathon test stream. What have we got? A couple of people on Twitch, the gaming channel. The Twitch, if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, because I do stream Synth Geekery show on Twitch. That is the link there for Twitch, twitch.tv/synthgeekery. Do check that out. If you are part of the YouTube, whoa, what's that? That's the wrong button. Let's go back there. If you are part of the YouTube thing, we do have Streamlabs, so you can do text to speech while we're in the middle of the stream on Streamlabs. You can do super chats and things like that. Also, if you do want to follow me during the rest of the week and discuss things on Discord, bit.ly/ranzee Discord, you can check me out on there. If you do want to join me on the stream right now, there is open whatever you want to call it on Zoom. So you guys can jump in on Zoom and join in, ask me to change stuff, play around with stuff. I mean, there's a studio behind here with a whole bunch of stuff like Novation peaks and Behringers and Roland System 8s and God knows what. There's even weird looking Eurorack stuff here and sequences and MPCs. Andy, hey.
Hey. What's happening?
You're on 2, aren't you? No, it must be 3. 3? 2. 1. Which one are you? You're there. There we go.
This a new track you're working on?
Nah, just jamming.
Screwing around? Yeah.
Yeah, just fucking around.
Yeah, I just saw you pop up on YouTube. I was doing some research for the hardware jams for this weekend, so.
It's James Bond thing or something. Was it James
Spy
Bond?
music, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty interesting topic. I'm trying to figure something out I can whip out as quickly as possible.
The stuff that's written below, by the way, is not, just disregard it. It's just for the stream, but we don't need to worry about that. So yeah, I'm just testing out streaming on Instagram, which I haven't done before. And
what was doing all the clangy bits on your little ding 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 ding?
The Bessimilus iteratus.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, I love that thing. It is so good. I actually want to get that's the very first version that they brought out. I want to get the Alter, which.
Oh, you don't have the Alter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Alter is even better.
There's also a third one too. There's
demonic or something.
Something, yeah. Alter something, yeah. But yeah, I still need to get one of those. I don't have any of those. I have other FM stuff, but not that.
One thing that's
I definitely want that IntelliGel thing though. That thing's fucking amazing.
That was.
That one.
I just hope
with the slider
that they just didn't do video trickery to make it look better than what it was. That's the only thing I hope. I hope it was it was Ridgy. I hope it was Ridgy, which means if it is Ridgy, that thing's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
I
don't have too many of their modules. I love their cases, and I do like their modules. It's just by the time I was getting into their modules, I already had a lot of other stuff from other companies that did some similar stuff. But I do like their Dixie 2 oscillator. It was the first one to have the built-in octave switching. So like nice quantizing, octave switching, all built into the same oscillator.
Yeah, kinda.
Have you tried that one, the Dixie?
No, I've seen the Dixie before.
Yeah.
But I didn't like about it was I thought it was a little bit doorbellish. That's
I mean just the audio quality, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit doorbellish. It's probably just not really knowing enough about it.
Yeah. It's
been around for ages, the Dixie.
Yeah, I didn't give an exhaustive list. I'm actually interested in Plonk.
Yeah, the Plonk. Cool. The Plonk one is more up my alley. The Atlantics, the Plonk, definitely more up my alley. Yeah, but the Dixie, not so much. The Dixie is like an FM kind of oscillator, right?
I just like the fact that it was clean. It had a lot of outputs. The standard
really
what
cheap.
You expect on a.
It's really
cheap, and it has the octave switching with the quantizing. That was kind of unique. You didn't have to add a bunch of crap to it.
Yeah.
You know.
The Plonk is a little bit more like a digital synth voice, with
It has some physical modeling bits in it.
Yeah.
But the thing that's odd about it, though, people have complained that it can lock up, though.
Yeah.
It might be overloading itself. The oscillator the CPU gets a little weird. And,
yeah, it's an older one
locks
too.
Up sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they had that Rainmaker, and they had the Geez, what was that?
Oh, I forgot about the Rainmaker.
There's a few sort of DSP oscillators they had in the early days that were like crazy, right? And their development has gone, so much better since then. When you think about it, it's kind of 15 years, I think, since they've been around, maybe even longer.
They were on a long time. Did you ever hear there was a SoundCloud channel where they interviewed makers? It was a modular exclusive SoundCloud channel, and I forgot the name of it. But the guy interviewed all these makers, including IntelliGel. What's the guy with the vacuum tubes that makes all the profane modules?
I know who you mean, but I can't think of his name.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
They interviewed him. They interviewed like all the standard guys at the time you would expect. Make Noise. All the major heavy hitters. You had a podcast with each one of them and talk about their backstory, where they came from. Really interesting interviews with these guys. What else is really doing? And I don't even know if he does any shows anymore. I've listened to them all, and then I kind of went to listen to other stuff. So I have to go back and see if they still exist. But he was one of the early guys doing all those modular interviews. It was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, you had that suit and tie guy. He was doing a lot of Eurorack interviews.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He seems to have gone a little bit more quieter on the YouTube side of things. And
you know what happened? He got really burned doing Eurorack. He had a lot of stock he'd sell. Like I bought one of his last what's it called? The Radiophonic One. I bought one of his last Radiophonic Ones that was on the market new, because it just wasn't selling. He had to mix the Sea Devils filter and all those other things that are really cool. He was taking the Moog boats from the Mother 32 and building his little custom systems. So the one he built was called Radiophonic One, and it was really cool. But he got left with a bunch of stock. He's actually for Pro Network. I actually walked up to him at NAMM. He was last year, and he was kind of drunk at the end of the show, and he was doing a whole rant about that stuff. So,
yeah.
And he's for good reason. He's bummed and burned out. So
we're all human.
Yeah,
man.
so that's why he went to this new system that he's built.
Do you know how many times I've thought of stopping doing this caper as well? There's so many times. I've just thought it's just not worth it. The amount of time.
Well, you have to mainly do it for yourself, and then if other people enjoy it, that's great. That's what I found with the hardware jams and with my YouTube channels and stuff like that. I'm really doing them for myself. If people don't like it, that's fine. I'm having fun, and and if people want to play along, that's great. If they don't want to play along, oh well. The good news is most of my stuff is the hardware costs me money, and all the stuff to like my telescope, microscope, all the other shit that I do with other channels, that all cost me money initially, but running my streams cost me nothing. I know you have much more overhead because you have a lot of fancy stuff in between, so you have to consider that, and it costs a lot more to run it, and you want to make sure people really pay attention and glom on and join subscriptions and stuff, because it helps you got to pay for this shit, right?
Yeah.
So I totally get that, but for mine are just free, so if people don't like it, oh well. I'm not going to get bent out of shape, so I'll in that respect I won't get burned out. But if you're like expecting people to really play along and continue contributing that way and stuff, I could really see why you would get stressed and burned out and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's going okay. It pretty much.
It's more like a job that way, So
it does tend to be a little bit, but I mean, I enjoy it at the moment. Yeah. But in terms of making money, it doesn't make me money. The costs exceed.
You might barely break even, right?
Oh, I don't break even. The costs exceed.
Not even that? Okay.
No. Yeah. Like I'd be
So
lucky.
You still have to love it then.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be lucky to make maybe $1,000 a year off of YouTube.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I know people have like like 10K subscribers and stuff, and they make hardly anything out of their
Yep.
channel. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
I don't even
crazy.
hit 1K yet. I'm close, so I haven't been able to monetize anything yet. But I'm not even looking forward to it because the people have way more than I would ever get are still making junk on their channels. So
It's weird. I think I've been a little unlucky with the algorithm, and I'm not sure whether it's just a few decisions that I've made over the years where I merged my YouTube channel with my artist channel, and it's something that you can do. And I did it for a reason, because I don't want to have like people going there and people coming to this one, and I just want them all going to the one spot. And I'm just not sure whether that changes anything algorithm wise, but
do you mean you still have two channels that one refers to the other one, or did you really just move all the content together?
they were merged. Yeah, they were merged.
Okay, right.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of, I don't really care about numbers so much, because I know it doesn't really equate to reality. Like, but if you were to look at my channel stats, I haven't really gained any subscribers probably for the last 3 years. It's kind of sat at around 16,000 for the last 3 years, and I had been hit really hard with the bot clean out, and I lost 1,000 subscribers in 1 month. I think it was last year. Sure. So it goes up and it goes down and up and down and up and down. It does that all the time. And if you get sort of stuck with that, making numbers, playing the algorithm, feeding the algorithm, if you get in there, it can be really bad. Just my advice to anyone: don't feed the algorithm.
Yeah. Because you make the special thumbnails, and you have to do all this extra stuff, and
for the most part, because of the computer science background, most of the stuff I do, I automate as much as I can. So, when I'm doing things like the news segment, or if I'm doing any of those other segments, I just dump the photos into a folder, and when I press a button, it sucks them in. And then all I have to do is press. It's all done through MIDI controller here. I just press a toggle button, and it scrolls through the photos. It updates titles. I had trouble with it over the years trying to get it to work properly and things, but it seems to have settled.
Yeah, the titles don't refresh or whatever.
Yeah, it seems to have settled now. It's like anything with computers. It's only as good as the memory chip on your computer, and I guess you have problems. But
the science of computer science is very loose, right?
It is very loose, very loose. If I didn't have the automation stuff, it would seriously be. I remember the early days when I was streaming. It was a lot of manual work, and putting a show together. Probably the hardest part about putting a show together now is the research during the week. Yeah. With the news segment, I'm trying to. I know over the years I've never been a Nick Bat sort of news type person, but I've tried to sort of polish it a bit more.
You find some pretty wild stuff, though. You cover stuff that a lot of people don't either find or cover or whatever. So
well,
that's good. You have a niche.
That's cool, because if people don't cover something, and I'm like, it gets to Saturday and I'm covering it, I'm like, wow, cool, I get to cover this, and no one else has covered it. It was like last week we covered the warthog, and I think the only one that covered it before me was Robbie's channel, Pro Synth.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't massive Eurorack guys, so luckily,
I didn't even catch that segment. They probably glossed over it, right?
Well, they didn't, but they weren't really. And it's nothing against them or anything, just weren't really kind of.
It's not their thing.
It wasn't their thing, and they probably just weren't in love with the idea.
I know Kent likes those things, but he doesn't use them that much. So.
Yeah, but when we covered it, we went into like a lot of anal detail over it, and the detail that we went over was a lot of guessing. We still don't know the answers to some of the questions we had, but it's like from a YouTube point of view, it's created a lot of traffic on my channel just by talking about that synth. Had people asking me questions about it. So if you are lucky, you do get to, depending on how you rock it, you do get to sort of take the lead on stuff. You know, like I feel like IntelliGel last Saturday we got the scoop on that because it came out literally 6 hours before the show aired. So, you know, it was good. And it meant that I had the show ready, and all I had to do was just squeeze that in at the end, which wasn't hard.
Yeah.
But I also had to spend time researching it, right?
It has to be not necessarily first, but early on the popular or unique stuff. Like when I started doing some Osmos jams and stuff, those videos got a lot of hits because it's like, ooh, Osmos. Everyone's all Osmos crazy, right? And even if they don't care about what you made, you're still going to get all the hits because it's something about Osmos. Same with Rolly stuff. You're doing Rolly stuff. Oh, Rolly's like a hot thing now. Oh, I was watching Rolly content.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does help to be one of the early ones for sure.
All right, what time is it here? It's 3. Okay, I'm going to have to end the stream. Yeah, probably going to have to end the stream in a couple of minutes because I've got to go pick my daughter up.
What time is it? Oh, 3 p.m.?
It's at 10 past 3 in the afternoon here.
Okay.
Must be getting way early in the morning for you.
It's midnight, so it's not
Midnight.
bad.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm a night person, so it's nothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so yeah, today it was just, for me, it was just testing out Instagram and Facebook Live because it seems to be working again now. We can stream on Facebook again. So for those people who are watching on Instagram, thanks for being part of that. And for those who are watching me on Facebook, that's cool as well. Twitch, it's weird. It's a weird little thing to get into, Twitch. I just think if you're not into gaming, I feel like no one really cares if it's something else, you know.
Well, it depends because there's a lot of music content on Twitch now, especially live streams. But like this kind of stuff, like the Sunshine guy who does his DJ streams on there.
Yeah.
And Jonathan R. Cross and a few other guys will do live jams on Twitch. My problem with Twitch, and it was either the tier I had for StreamYard at the time, or it was just the way the damn thing works as a plugin for StreamYard. I couldn't get Twitch to store my video.
It doesn't.
Going through StreamYard.
No, it doesn't.
You can only do it through the app, I think.
Well, it doesn't store. It doesn't. I mean, it stores it for 12 hours or something, and then it's gone.
Through the app, you can get it to store. I think 30 days. I think was read somewhere. If you turn that feature on, that's it. I mean, it doesn't store much longer than that, and it doesn't store at all if you don't use the app, which is really annoying.
I don't really mind if it doesn't store it. I mean, to be honest, I kind of feel like YouTube's a good place for them to store. I mean, this will store here, and this one will store on YouTube.
I know, but some people never go to YouTube. If you're a Twitchy, you're going to stay on Twitch.
Instagram, it stores for 30 days, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Facebook does. I think it stores forever on Facebook. I'm not sure. But yeah, for me, I'm happy for it to store on YouTube because then I can just download it and store it here on my computer if I need it. I mean, like today's stream was impromptu, so it doesn't really matter if I lose it or not because it was just testing things out. And then I thought, I'll just jam around and muck around, sort of trying a few things out.
But your intermediary is not aggregating the chats, right? They're still all separate chats.
With Xils-labs, I can multi-chat, but the multi-chat will it will only work on Twitch and YouTube. I'm not sure, like someone could verify it. I'm not sure if it works in Facebook or not. But if I go, hi guys.
Because StreamYard claimed I could do multi-chat, and the only one that ever showed up that wasn't YouTube was, I think. Yeah,
see, it's done Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook when I've multi-chatted, but it hasn't done Instagram. So the integration with Instagram is still kind of manual. You have to go and actually, even with the starting the stream, you have to go back into the window of Instagram and actually click start stream and then end the stream.
Yeah, that's not annoying. I hate that thing.
Yeah,
but it's so funny because Facebook owns it. Why don't they fix that so it's all uniform?
But it works on Facebook, so I don't have to touch Facebook. So I mean, integration-wise, it's fine. But you know, like I may. So the thing is, you've got to stream where the people are, and at the moment they're on TikTok and they're on Instagram. So that's where the people are.
Yeah. I can't stand TikTok, so I stay off of there pretty much.
I can't stream on TikTok at the moment. It won't let me. They've
Really?
I don't know if they've banned me or if they've whatever they have. But I've got the Streamlabs guy in tech support trying to work out what's going on. Apparently, it's happened to a few people. So
Really?
they're checking it out. But yeah,
And it's not that you can only do so many at once. You're not at your limit.
no, I can because I'm on with Streamlabs. I'm on their Ultra plan, which is their top tier.
Okay.
And so they will let me stream to as many as I want through their multi-stream system. And the cool thing about it is I only have to stream out. I'm only streaming out one stream from here, and then it gets to their network, and then it multi-streams from there. So they've got some sort of RDP type, what do you call it? RTMP, whatever it's called, streaming system.
Oh yeah.
That streams out to multi platforms. It's a little bit like Streamlabs.
Thing.
Yeah. A little bit like StreamYard, but
how much more delay does that add to it? Do you know?
Twitch is pretty bad. Like I reckon it's like 20 seconds. YouTube's pretty quick. YouTube it gets to YouTube very quick. It's on ultra low latency on YouTube. So I kind of feel like probably 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
I was getting about 20 when I was doing StreamYard a lot on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm going to say probably 5 seconds on... Yeah, definitely 5 seconds on YouTube, which is pretty good considering it's going out through me, through Streamlabs, and then out into YouTube. When I was doing... If I stream out directly from my ATEM, because I've got an ATEM Extreme Pro here, the latency is almost down to 1 second, which is insane. So when you're on ultra low latency,
cleaner protocol going through nothing, right? You're just no Windows crap or Mac or whatever. You're going straight out of the box, right?
Straight out of the box. And the good thing about it is the box has got all the chips in it that handle that, and there's nothing else to sort of get in its way.
I did that once or twice, and then I discovered it wasn't. You have to set up some weird thing in YouTube on the back end to have it continue to use the same key. I was getting it not streaming to a new video every time from the ATEM, and I had to keep re-entering a key for a new stream every time, which kind of removed the whole point of doing the box standalone. So I have to go into YouTube, get another key, load it in there, and then it would go. I couldn't consistently just go into the box, fire it off from the existing key, and have it create a new stream with no issues. And I didn't really want to waste time troubleshooting it, so I said, screw it, I'll just go back to managing from the computer.
I wouldn't be using it to multi-stream. It's a bit like I use vMix on my Windows PC to handle all the show, basically, all the algorithms and everything. You can multi-stream from here, but it taxes your internet connection, but it also taxes your graphics card, and your CPU. Because I think it jails each stream socket. Basically, it jails it in your CPU and your graphics card, so you're automatically dumber on resources as a result. And then if you do anything taxing, like I need to use the computer while I'm on the show so I can get web pages up and things like that. If I open up browser tabs and things like that, it just really even with the 128 gig of RAM on this machine and i7 Core i7 processor and decent NVIDIA graphics card, it still taxes it. It's just the way it works, the way the programming works.
The fans kicking in and stuff.
So that's why with me I don't use this computer to stream. I send an NDI feed out. And my Mac picks up the stream because the Mac's not really doing anything, and it sends it out through Streamlabs, and that's a low task for it. And then that way I can tax this computer with doing the things I want to do in the show, and it doesn't really worry it too much. Anyway,
I don't have any NDI equipment, but I've used the wireless NDI with the iPhone. That was kind of cool.
Oh, with
the little app on the computer.
You have to pay for it though, don't you? That one.
Actually, no. there was a trick. I think the Windows one was free if you ran it in some demo mode, and the Mac one you had to pay for, something like that. I forgot.
Oh, okay.
There's a little sneaky thing I discovered doing that.
Yeah. All right, I got to scoot anyway. I got to go pick my daughter up.
Radio.
We've had fun today anyway. So thanks for jumping
Good
in,
stuff.
man.
Yeah. So I figured you were always running vMix, so I figured I'll jump in and see if it works. So, have a good one.
All right, guys. All the best.